The forest breathed like a living cathedral. Columns of trees rose higher than spires, their crowns woven into a roof of green glass. Light sifted down in broken beams, turning dust into drifting stars. Evelyn lifted her hand. The silver shard glowed faintly, answering the rhythm of her pulse. "It's not just light," she whispered. "It's alive." Clara pressed her ear to a trunk. The bark was warm, a heartbeat thudding slow and deep. "They talk to each other," she murmured, like a choir of roots. Liam scanned the undergrowth, jaw tight. "Eyes sharp. Trees don't talk, and we don't belong here." But his voice faltered. For a moment he thought he saw letters forming in the ends of the leaves, a language older than stone. The path curved gently, as though it shaped itself for their steps. Vines uncoiled to clear the way. Moss glowed faintly underfoot, soft as woven velvet. Clara gasped as fireflies drifted past, their bellies blue instead of gold. Each one chimed a tiny note, a music box scattering its tune. "They're stars that forgot how to fall," she said. Her laughter rang like their echo. Evelyn slowed, eyes catching a shimmer ahead. Between two laurels, the light bent. The air thickened, silver motes swirling in hidden currents. Then the forest opened, a clearing bathed in pale radiance, its center carpeted with white clover. Standing there was the stag. Its coat was moonlight poured into flesh. Its antlers branched wider than crowns, each tine glowing faintly, as though dipped in starlight. Clara's breath fled her lungs. Her hand found Evelyn's sleeve. Liam stepped forward despite himself, drawn by the impossible weight of beauty. The stag lowered its head. Its eyes met theirs. Not eyes, but twin pools of silver, deep enough to drown fear. A voice rang inside them, not in ears, but in marrow. "You crossed the door, so the library still remembers." Evelyn's fingers tightened on the shard. You know the library. "It is one of many doors," the stag answered, "but few remember where they lead." Clara took a trembling step closer. "We didn't mean to trespass. We just followed." The stag's breath misted, though the air was warm. It touched her forehead, lightly, with the tip of one antler. "You are not trespassers. You are answers." Liam clenched his fists. Answers to what? The stag turned, its hooves not bending the clover. From between its antlers fell a single spark, descending into Evelyn's waiting hands. It hardened into a crystal shard, the same as before, but brighter, pulsing with golden fire. "The sunstone is broken. The Shadow King hides the greater part, but the forest keeps what fragments it can. You must carry them, or the moons will fade to ash." Evelyn swallowed hard. The shard burned warmly against her skin, but it did not hurt. She glanced at her brother and sister. Their faces reflected the glow. Wonder in Clara's eyes, worry in Liam's, resolve beginning to kindle in her own. The stag lifted its head, antlers glowing like a crown of constellations. "Follow it," said. "The forest has kept the way hidden until now." It stepped into the shadows. Branches leaned aside, and a faint path appeared, threaded with silver moss. The siblings exchanged a glance. Evelyn nodded first. Clara clutched her hand, and Liam, with a reluctant sigh, fell into step behind them. They walked deeper. The air grew cooler, the silence sharper. Each sound, footsteps, breath, heartbeat, seemed louder than it should. At times Evelyn thought the trees were whispering her name. At times Liam felt eyes, watching from every hollow. At times Clara smiled faintly, as if she heard laughter in the leaves. The stag moved like light poured into shape. No twig cracked under its hooves. Where it passed, ferns brightened as if waking. After what felt like hours, the path widened into a hollow. Mist coiled low over the ground, silver and slow, as though time thickened here. In its center lay water, perfectly round, perfectly still, a pool like polished glass, mirroring nothing but its own depth. Evelyn's breath caught. She felt drawn forward, as if the pool leaned toward her in return. "This is the mirror," the stag said. "It shows not faces, but the truths that wait behind them." Clara stepped close, kneeling at the edge. Her reflection flickered, then shifted. She gasped. In the pool, she was no longer small. She stood tall, surrounded by animals. Foxes, birds, wolves, all circling her with trust. Her eyes glowed with a quiet strength. Her hand reached out and the animals bowed. I look different, Clara whispered. No, I look more. The stag's voice was gentle. The pool does not lie. It shows what may be, not what must. Evelyn touched Clara's shoulder. Let me try. She leaned over the water. The surface shivered, then bloomed with shelves. Endless rows of books, stretching into infinity. 1,000 doors lined the aisles, each marked with symbols. She almost recognized, at the far end, a door blazed with silver fire. The key in her pocket throbbed in answer. Her chest tightened with awe. It knows me, she whispered. The pool knows me. The stag inclined its head. The door you saw is real. One day you must find it. Evelyn's hand trembled as she pulled back. Then Liam stepped forward. He hesitated. His jaw clenched, but he forced himself to kneel. The water clouded at once. Darker than shadow, thick as smoke. Out of it rose towers broken by fire. Stone crumbled, sky burned crimson. On the battlefield lay silence, and the weight of loss. At the center stood Liam older alone, and behind him 2 fallen figures. He lurched back, eyes wide, face pale. No, his voice cracked. No, that's not me. That won't be me. The pool stilled again, as if nothing had happened. But silence pressed on them like iron. Clara reached for him, but he pulled away. I don't want to look again. The stag lowered its head. The mirror shows paths, not prisons. But beware, fear can carve its own road, if you let it. The pool lay still once more. Only the silver sky rippled, faint lie across its surface. No one spoke. The forests waited with them, holding its breath. Clara's small hand crept into Liam's. You're not alone, she whispered. You'll never be. But his jaw stayed rigid, eyes fixed on the water, as though daring it to move again. Evelyn turned to the stag. What are we supposed to do? The visions are so different. Hers was hope. Mine was a promise. Her voice faltered. The stag's eyes glimmered with sorrow. Each of you is a thread. Together, you are a weave. The pool shows strands, not the whole cloth. It stepped closer. Its breath cool with the scent of pine. The sunstone is not whole. Its pieces sleep across this realm. You must find them. Before the Shadow King's hands grow long, only light can bind what was broken. Evelyn touched the shard in her palm. Its glow beat steady, as though answering her heart. Clara nodded, eyes shining. If we carry the light, we can fix it. We have to. Liam finally looked up, anger and fear battling in his gaze. And if it's a lie, if it's just another trick, to lead us to ruin. The stag's antlers burned brighter, casting the clearing in pale fire. Truth is not always gentle, but lies do not give you choice. The pool gave you choice. Liam's breath trembled. He closed his eyes, then exhaled sharply. Fine, I'll follow. But not because I believe, because you do. Evelyn's hand found his. Clara's fingers closed around them both. The stag lifted its head high. 3 chosen, 3 lights. The road begins now. Mist rose from the pool, curling around its form. Slowly, the stag dissolved into silver air, until only motes remained, drifting like stars among the trees. The clearing grew quiet again. The pool reflected only the sky. The siblings stood together, their reflections tangled in the glass. For a long moment, none of them spoke. Then Evelyn tightened her grip on the shard and the key. We can't turn back. Not now. The next piece is out there, and we're the only ones who can find it. Clara's smile was small but steady. Forward. Liam gave a bitter laugh, but his eyes softened. Forward, he echoed. The forest stirred, leaves shifting as though listening, and somewhere beyond the trees, a path of light began to glow.